Hey, so I've had a few books that I've been borrowing from the library, and I thought I'd just do a little library book haul. So let's get started. I do have a couple that I've yet to bring home with me that just came in today, so I'll include those now. Okay, just like magic. So we have the other books that I have just accumulated from work at the library, and they are as follows. So I've got 18 stories of modern horror of the flesh. This is this one, so it's just a collection of short stories featuring gory, horrifying topics, which I'm very excited to try, particularly with Lucy Rose, because I read The Lamb, or tried to read The Lamb. I DNF'd it, and I'm intrigued to see what I'm missing, because I used it as our first big book club pick for work and everybody else loved it. So I don't know, I think maybe reading this short story I will have a better idea of whether or not I should go back and try and continue The Lamb. So yeah, this just says stories from 18 master storytellers will curdle your blood, haunt your dreams and redefine terror. I've also got Nuzo Ono's Futility, Murder Revenge Suit. So cool, I love this cover. Crackling with wit, this is a mysterious, gleeful, bitingly funny tale of murder, body swapping and bloody vengeance. Betrayed by the men in their lives, two women seethe with rage and bitterness. When a trickster spirit offers them the gift of revenge, they cannot resist. Chaya runs one of the best restaurants in Abuja, Nigeria, and is renowned among the male clientele for her captivating beauty and delicious hot pepper soup. But her hot pepper soup has a secret ingredient, and her beauty is not what it seems. Claire is a 50-year-old British woman living in Abuja with her young Nigerian boyfriend and his beautiful cousin Sade. Consumed by jealousy and resentment, Claire's carefully organised life spirals into chaos after a night out at Chaya's infamous restaurant. This just sounds so good. I really like the idea, and this is why I'm surprised that I didn't get on so much with Lucy Rose's book, but I really like the idea of horror and food. So yeah, I'm really intrigued what the outcome is of this one. Then I've got The Shadows of Rookhaven by Patrick Kenny, if I remember if that's how you say it properly. I learned it and then I haven't picked up a book that has that author's name for a while, and now the pronunciation's gone out of my head. But this is the sequel to The Monsters of Rookhaven, which I read, blimey, it's got to be around like 2 years ago now, and I really enjoyed it. It's a YA kind of middle grade spooky story about this like found family of characters, and they're all kind of macabre and monstrous in these ways. And if I remember correctly, I know it'll start coming back to me when I pick up the sequel, but off the top of my head, if I remember correctly, it's centered around this isolated town with these characters in it, and their presence protects the outer town from things that aren't as nice as them. So yeah, this is the sequel. I want to say it's a duology, cannot remember off the top of my head. Then I have Wake Up and Open Your Eyes by Clay McLeod Chapman, which is sort of blurbed on the front by Jordan Peele, who I love the horror movies that he does. So yeah, I've been wanting to try this since it came out. I thought I was going to get my own copy, but I didn't in the end. I just opted for the library, and to be honest, I don't know an awful lot about it. I just liked the title, liked the cover, and was happy that it was blurbed by Jordan Peele, and really that is how I want to keep it. So I do want to go into this not knowing much about it. I have my first Ben Alderson, and this is The Haunting of William Thorne. This is going to be LGBTQIA plus with some beautiful haunted characters. Looking off the bat of this, it kind of makes me think of the Picture of Dorian Gray, but I don't know if that's the vibe it's going for. It says, one devastating betrayal, one fatal accident. After his partner Archie's death, William Thorne's world is shattered, leaving a void soon to be filled by an unexpected and bizarre inheritance, a deteriorated manor near the seemingly idyllic Stonewall. Arriving, he finds a house steeped in decay, as well as Edward, a man hiding many truths whom William is inexplicably drawn to. Oh, I love that it's got diary entries. So it's got fragmented diary entries and writing that appears scribbled on walls of the house, hint of forbidden love and a dark secret buried deep inside, while a malevolent spirit that lurks beneath it all hungers for William, drawing him closer into the mystery. In order to bring peace to the tormented souls and confront his profound grief, William must risk everything he holds dear, fighting for his sanity and his life against both the living and the spectral. I can't wait to see how this romance blossoms within such a dark story. Oh, I cannot wait. And of course, just to try my first book by this author. I used to watch on YouTube quite religiously. And then I've got Yaya Schofields On Sundays She Picked Flowers. And again, this is one that I hadn't heard too much about, but again, the title and the cover really intrigued me. It says just on the back, and I think I'll just leave it here. Who knows upon what soil they fed their hungry, thirsty roots? Like what? And it's relatively small, to be fair, so that could be like a 1-2 sit-in kind of thing for me. Right, even though this was still quite a hefty amount of books, on to the main part of the video, and I do apologise for this spliced and diced situation that we have here. And then as for the books that I've actually got to hand with me, let's get started. So I wanted to explore some more in terms of horror and like strange fiction, and I stumbled on How to Survive Camping: The Man with No Shadow by Bonnie Quinn, and this seemed like a summer campfire kind of horror story, which was right up my street by the sounds of things. So it sounds a lot of fun, and it sounds not interactive in the terms of a book that I'm going to show shortly, but just listen. Some rules to help you survive your camping experience. 1. Pack heavy blankets, it can get cold at night. 2. Place solar lights near your tent stakes to prevent tripping. 3. Don't follow the lights. I can't believe I even have to say this one. Don't follow the lights. 4. Be wary of a friendly man who may approach you in a shaded area. If he does not cast a shadow, stop talking and leave as quickly as you can. It sounds like so much fun. It almost feels, to be fair, I get this feeling whenever there's like a campfire or like a summer campfire, but it feels like it could be YA, so I'm not sure how horror, how scary it's going to be. It's not listed as YA from what I can see, but it feels like it has the tropes that you could find in a solid YA horror. So let's see what we get with this one. I've also got 2 books from the same series, and this is books 2 and 3 of We Only Find Them When They're Dead. I read volume 1, and I would have that one to show you, but I returned it recently, and I really loved it. It was just one that I stumbled on the shelves and then decided to order in the next 2 copies, and I think volume 3 is like completes the story. I don't think there's any more to come from this series, but we're set in this kind of alternate in the future sci-fi where we've colonized like space basically, but we are following this sort of band of misfits, I guess you could say, who are on a sort of like mining ship where they mine resources from gods, and you only find the gods when they're dead. But our captain of this team is desperate to find more meaning to that and to find a live one. And so yeah, that story, the first volume at least, explores that, what becomes of the team, the repercussions, all that sort of thing. And so I am intrigued to see where volume 2 and 3 take us, because when I read volume 1, it felt like it had wrapped up and that the story could have been complete. So I am eager to see how it's expanded in this way, and I'm hopeful that I'll enjoy those just as much as I enjoyed the first volume. One that I'm currently reading is a choose your own adventure story, and I've been wanting to read one of these books for the longest time. I've been interested and fascinated by this concept of having a story unfold depending on how you navigate the tale. And this one is by R.A. Montgomery. It's Mystery of the Maya. It is an older work, so I'm imagining it's not as politically correct as it would be, say, now. But it is a kind of lost civilization discovery story. A friend goes missing. That friend's friend, that person's friend, is then asked to come and help in the effort of finding this person and kind of figuring out what the friend was doing in terms of the research of the Mayan culture and the lost civilization. And yeah, there's like time travel, there's potions, there's like sacrifice. It's really interesting, and I'm having a fun time. It's just a cool little story that I feel like probably had intended to encourage children to pick up books first and foremost, and also explore more about different people, different cultures, which is good. I've also got another horror. This one is Children of Paradise by Camilla Gradova, and this sounds really cool. I think it's set in, is it the 90s? I want to say it's the 90s, and or maybe a little bit before that. But there's this kind of rundown cinema theatre that's still chugging along. I think it's located almost at like basement level underneath a block of like flats, and our main character is wanting to get a job there. The rest of the crew seem to be really like standoffish and not very welcoming, and I think there's strange things that go on at the theatre. Holly, the main character, finally gains the trust of the cryptic band of oddballs, and Holly transforms from silent drudge to rebellious insider, and gradually she too becomes part of the paradise, unearthing its secrets, learning its history, and halting its corridors after hours with the other ushers. It's no surprise that when violence strikes and tempers change, group, eyes still affixed to the screen, starts to go rapidly awry. And then the last two are graphic novel comics. So I've got Snow Glass Apples. This one was on the shelf and it's one that I've been wanting to try for a while. I have read a couple of these reimagining stories. I can't remember. I think I read the Sleeping Beauty one, I want to say. So yeah, I saw this and I thought I'd give this one a go too, which is of course a Snow White retelling. And then I've got the first two volumes of The Trees, and this, I can't remember if I have read the first volume before, so it might be a refresher or it might be the case where I've just never read it before, because I've looked at these covers for so long that I almost feel like I have them or I've read them or something to that effect. So I'll definitely have to double check my shelves before I begin. But this sounds like a creepy, eerie, unsettling story. So I'll read you the back of volume 1. It says, 10 years after they landed all over the world and they did nothing, standing on the surface of the earth like trees, exerting their silent pressure on the world, as if there were no one here and nothing underfoot. 10 years since we learned that there is intelligent life in the universe, but that they did not recognise us as intelligent or alive. It sounds so eerie. I think I could really enjoy this one. So yeah, I find that I really love horror in the form of graphic novels and comics and things like that. So that was this impromptu, actually, it's rather impromptu mini library book haul. Let me know if you've picked up any of these yourself, if you have these sitting on your shelf, if you've read and enjoyed them, if you've read and not enjoyed them. Either or, I would love to know. Thank you once again for watching today's video, and I shall catch you in another one soon. Bye.